Hello, my name is Jennifer Hancock. I am a humanist, and I will be your guide through this introduction to humanism. This program is designed to help clarify one of the most influential and consequently most maligned philosophies of our time. This introduction to humanism is broken into 6 sections covering the definition of humanism, the history of humanism, humanism's relationship to religion, central values of humanism, famous humanists, and frequently asked questions about humanism. Because humanism has arisen in every culture and in every time, it is important to remember that this is only an introduction, and that there is a wealth of information and writing available on this subject should you choose to explore it further. Humanists are driven to excel in many areas of life and are often some of the most influential people in our society. Though you probably don't know it yet, a lot of famous people are humanists. For instance, did you know that 22 of the 54 Nobel laureates in science alive today consider themselves to be humanists? While there are many historical figures we know through their writings held humanist views, I'm going to focus this list only on those who have openly acknowledged their humanist viewpoints. Because people only started referring to themselves as humanists in the past century, this list is limited to modern humanists. The actual list of famous humanists is longer than this, but I tried to keep it to the really big names almost everyone will be familiar with. You can find more complete lists of famous humanists on the web by doing a simple web search. And if you don't know who these people are, a quick search will fill you in on the details of why these people are famous. Let's start with the writers. Isaac Asimov, one of the big 3 in the field of science fiction, served as the honorary president of the American Humanist Association from 1985 until his death in 1992. He was named Humanist of the Year in 1984. Arthur C. Clarke, another of the big 3 science fiction writers, was a distinguished supporter of the British Humanist Association and was named a Humanist Laureate by the International Academy of Humanism. Kurt Vonnegut was the honorary president of the American Humanist Association from 1992 until his death in 2007. He was a signer of the Humanist Manifesto 3, Humanism and Its Aspirations, and was named Humanist of the Year in 1992. Gore Vidal is the current honorary president of the American Humanist Association. Joyce Carol Oates was named Humanist of the Year in 2007 by the American Humanist Association. Sir Terry Pratchett admitted he was a humanist during an interview with the BBC News in 2008. He is also a distinguished supporter of the British Humanist Association. It should come as no surprise that Sir Salman Rushdie is a humanist. He is a supporter of the British Humanist Association and was named a Humanist Laureate by the International Academy of Humanism. Christopher Hitchens is a well-known humanist and Humanist Laureate of the International Academy of Humanism. And finally, Piers Anthony, writer of the Xanth series, is a lifetime member of the Humanists of Florida Association. There are a large number of entertainers who consider themselves to be humanists. Here is but a small sample. Gene Roddenberry was a member of the American Humanist Association and is considered one of the most influential yet unheralded humanists in the 20th century. Rod Serling was a member of the Unitarian Universalists and considered himself to be a naturalistic humanist. Comedian Steve Allen was named Humanist Laureate by the International Academy of Humanism and was the honorary chairman of the Council of Secular Humanism until his death. Jane Asher, British actress and former girlfriend of Paul McCartney, is a distinguished supporter of the British Humanist Association. Joss Whedon, the creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Firefly, is a humanist. In early 2009, he gave a presentation to the Humanist chaplaincy at Harvard about the importance of humanism. Bjorn Ulvaeus of ABBA is a member of the Swedish Humanist Association. Peter Ustinov was named Humanist Laureate of the International Academy of Humanism. And finally, Oliver Stone is a signer of Humanism and Its Aspirations. Helen Caldecott, the anti-nuclear advocate, was the American Humanist Association Humanist of the Year in 1982. A. Philip Randolph received the American Humanist Association's Humanist of the Year award in 1970. Helen Keller was a member of the American Humanist Association and was a founding member of the First Humanist Society of New York, along with Albert Einstein. Margaret Sanger was the Humanist of the Year for the American Humanist Association in 1957. Fay Waddleton received the Humanist of the Year award in 1986. Andrei Sakharov received the Humanist of the Year award in 1980. And Arun Gandhi signed the latest Humanist manifesto, Humanism and Its Aspirations. Perhaps the most famous names in humanism come from the field of science. As I mentioned before, 22 currently living Nobel laureates in science are signers of Humanism and Its Aspirations. Here are some other famous humanist scientists you just may have heard about. Albert Einstein was a founding member of the First Humanist Society of New York and a member of the American Humanist Association. Carl Sagan was a member of the American Humanist Association and received their Humanist of the Year award in 1981. He was also named Humanist Laureate for the International Academy of Humanism. B.F. Skinner was Humanist of the Year in 1972 and was a signer of Humanist Manifesto No. 2. Stephen Jay Gould won the Humanist of the Year award in 2001. Francis Crick and James Watson were both named Humanist Laureates by the International Academy of Humanism. As for other Nobel Prize winners, Linus Pauling was Humanist of the Year in 1961, and Jonas Salk won that honor in 1976. To finish off this list, we have some other notable figures whose work didn't fit into any of the other categories, but who were so influential they deserve notice here. Buckminster Fuller was named Humanist of the Year in 1969. He was a Unitarian Universalist. John Kenneth Galbraith was Humanist of the Year in 1985 and was open about his humanist viewpoints. Albert Ellis was the Humanist of the Year in 1971, signatory to Humanist Manifesto No. 2, and was very open and outspoken about the fact he was a humanist. And Julian Huxley was a self-proclaimed scientific humanist and presided over the founding Congress for the International Humanist and Ethical Union. He was named Humanist of the Year in 1962, and he was a founding member of the First Humanist Society of New York, along with Helen Keller and Albert Einstein. If you admire any of the humanists highlighted in this video, you might consider learning more about the philosophy that inspired them.